Hello and welcome, this is Edoreld, and today I will be doing a spotlight on a mod by RWTema. It's called Extra Utilities, and this mod adds a bunch of cool and fun stuff to the game. So let's get started. Alright, so the first block I want to take a look at is the angel block, crafted like this. You can place this block anywhere you like, you don't actually have to put it on another block. So if I right click with it equipped, it's gonna put it in front of me. And then you can place other blocks connected to it, and then you can simply retrieve it. So this is a really useful block if you want to start building a base where there are no other blocks around, like on the top of the world, and you don't want to make a 1x1 tower. The next block I want to show you are the black cat curtains, crafted with 6 pieces of wool to get 12 of them, and they will let you through. You can go through them, but whatever light level goes in, and they connect like glass panes, by the way, whatever light level goes in this room normally will be reduced by half if they go through the curtains. So as you can see, there isn't much light here. So this is a perfect block to use when you want to have a dark room that you still want to have access to, because you can just go through the curtains. Next up, we've got the block update detector, BUD, crafted like this, and this block placed on the wall will detect any change that happens next to it. So if I were to place a block here, it's gonna emit a redstone pulse, and if I remove a block, it's gonna emit a redstone pulse as well. It will also detect the growth stages of wheat. Every time wheat grows to the next growth stage, it will emit a redstone signal, and it will work similarly with other crops and anything else that changes, that updates blocks around it. So that's how the block update detector works. Next up, we've got the chandelier, which is crafted with 2 pieces of gold, 1 diamond and 4 torches, and you get 1 of them, and you can place it like this on the ceiling. So it's mainly a decoration block. You cannot place it on the ground or on walls, only on the ceiling, and it will provide a certain light level. So let's take a look. Alright, what I want to show you next is a pretty cool feature. It's the color bricks. Now this mod adds 16 different color bricks and 16 different wood planks, and you can craft them individually like this, 7 stone bricks of these types, and then 1 piece of dye in the middle, and the paintbrush, which you craft with a piece of string and 2 sticks, and then you're gonna get yourself 8 color bricks of the color of the dye you used, and you can place them in the world. And the cool thing about this is that you can use dye on the blocks when placed in the world, and it will change the color of any block of that type that is in the same chunk. So for example, these 9 bricks of white color are in the same chunk, and if I use green dye, it's gonna start changing the color of all of them that are in the same chunk. Of course, it's not affecting these ones because they are in another chunk. And dyeing the bricks and the wood works like dyeing leather armor, so you can get exactly the shade of the shade that you want, the whatever color you want. To clean the color, you can use a water bottle on the bricks and a paintbrush on the wood. And you can also, to color these bricks and wood planks, you can use a piece of leather armor that has already been dyed. If you use it, it will change the color of the bricks or of the wood planks to the color of that piece of armor. So that's pretty handy. Additionally, if you shift right click with a paintbrush on color bricks or wood, it's gonna copy that color onto the paintbrush, and then you can simply right click another brick or color wood plank in order to paint it that color. Next up, we've got a new way to store cobble. If you combine 9 blocks of cobblestone in a crafting table, you'll get 1 block of compressed cobblestone, and similarly you can combine 9 blocks of compressed cobblestone to get 1 block of compressed cobblestone of the next tier, in this case double. You can do this until you get to the octuple level, and one of those octuple compressed cobblestone blocks corresponds to about 43 million cobble. So yeah, an alternative way to store cobblestone. Next up, we've got conveyor belts. Conveyor belts are crafted like this, and you can use them to transport items and living entities around. Let's check it out. Now first, if you place it like this, the arrow on the side is gonna point to the direction the conveyor belt is gonna move things to, and let's just test it out. Alright, it's transporting items. Let's try it with an NPC. Same thing. So, you know, a way to transport things around. Alright, let's take a look at Cursed Earth. This block does not have a recipe. You might wanna figure out how to craft it on your own. If you're really desperate, you might actually wanna take a look at the forum thread of the mod. In any case, I've placed a 5x5 patch of Cursed Earth here, and I'm gonna turn my difficulty to hard now. Basically, mobs are gonna spawn more often on this patch. So it's a really great material to make the ground of a mob spawning room. However, if you don't keep it dark, it's gonna start firing up, and the Cursed Earth will quickly revert to its dirt state. So if we just wait a bit, we'll see that happening right there. So that's how the Cursed Earth works. Additionally, Cursed Earth will try, if it's dark enough, as you just saw, to spread to adjacent dirt and grass blocks. Next block is the Peaceful Table, crafted like this. 4 emeralds, 1 diamond and 4 wood planks, and it's a block that is meant for players in peaceful mode. And what it does is, from time to time, it's gonna spawn a mob close to it, and if there's a sword stored in a chest that's connected to the table, like in this case, it's gonna instantly kill the mob and collect its drops. And the sword that you're using will actually lose durability, like if you were killing the mob yourself. And if there are enchantments on the sword, it will also take that into account and apply enchantments. Like for example, if you had looting 3 on a diamond sword, it will get more drops from mobs. If you had unbreaking, then it will take longer till it breaks. So that's how the Peaceful Table works. Do you hate the sound of sheep and cows? Well, it's your lucky day, because you can now use a sound muffler crafted with 8 pieces of wool and 1 node block to quiet down the noise that sheep, cows and other animals make. So as soon as you place it down, this sound goes back to reasonable levels, and you can again get a good night's sleep. Now let me show you how the rain muffler, an upgraded version of the sound muffler, works. Alright, so let's see how the rain muffler works. First of all, you craft it like this, 1 bucket of water surrounded by sound mufflers, and when you place it on the world, if it's raining, it's gonna completely cancel the sound of rain after a few seconds. And this block works in a 64 block radius. So that's how the rain muffler works. Okay, this mod also adds iron spikes, crafted like this, ton of iron. You get 4 iron spikes and you can place them on the ground, and anything that falls on it will take damage, whether it's you, an animal or a mob. So let's test it with a creeper, and let's get out of Peaceful. And the mob won't drop experience, however it will drop items, including rare items. So that's how spikes work. Now next up, I want to show you the trading post. The trading post is crafted like this: a jukebox and a block of emerald and the rest wood planks, and if you place it, it's gonna detect villagers in a specific radius around the block, and when you right click on the block, it's gonna show you all the available trades from all the villagers that are in the area it detects. And you can simply click on one of the trades to go to the interface for that villager, and you can conduct your business as usual from that interface. Alright, let's take a look at the item transfer system in Extra Utilities. Now first of all, you're gonna wanna craft yourself some transfer pipes like this, and then a transfer node or 2 like that. Now you can attach the transfer nodes to inventories by shift right clicking, and then you can connect these transfer nodes to transfer pipes like this. The transfer nodes will pull items from the inventory it's attached to, and it will pull them into its own internal inventory, which can store up to a stack of items. And then the transfer node, it will start looking for valid inventories in the network of transfer pipes, and once it finds the closest one, it's gonna start putting the items from its buffer into that inventory. So let's see it in action. I'm gonna put some cobblestone in here, and the transfer node slowly but surely will start storing it into its internal buffer, and it's gonna start searching for inventories, and it's gonna put them in here. Now if I were to connect two inventories to it, it will still put the items in the first inventory because that's the closest one, and this one will never get any items. Now there are a couple of upgrades you can apply to the transfer node. You've got the transfer node upgrade of speed, crafted like this, and you can actually apply it by right clicking the transfer node, and it will consume the upgrade, and the items will basically be pulled at a much faster rate. You can additionally use this upgrade several times to get an increase of speed up to 20 times as much as the default value. Next upgrade is the item filter. The item filter is crafted like this, and you can access its interface by right clicking while having it equipped. It's got 9 slots that you can specify items with. For example, in this case I've put cobblestone. You can right click it to remove it, and you can simply right click with an item on it to put it in the filter, and it doesn't consume the item. And then you can apply it to an item node by right clicking with the item filter. Then it will only pull the items that you put in the filter. So if I put cobble, it's gonna start pulling it out. If I put a stick, for example, it will not put it out because it's not in the filter. So that's how that upgrade works. So let's take a look at a more elaborate setup. Now in this case I've got one transfer node pulling items from this inventory and not putting into that one over there and that one over there because they are at the same distance from the transfer node. So if I were to put some items in here, and let's apply a speed upgrade to accelerate the process, it's gonna put the items in both of the chests, not necessarily in a balanced way. Now let's say I only wanted items to go into the left chest. Well, you can use a stick to change the mode of the transfer nodes. So if I right click here, you're gonna see that there are these lines that appear, and these lines that appear here, and there's only one route that has no lines. That's the route, the path where items are gonna travel. So now if I put some cobblestone here, the items are only gonna travel through the routes that are clear of lines. If I were to click again, the route will change to that side, and now items will only go there. Click again and the items will only go back, therefore they're not gonna be transferred to any of the inventories, and they will remain in the internal buffer. Click again and the node becomes white, which means it's not gonna connect to any inventories that are next to it. And click again and it's back to the default mode. Alright, so let's take a look at the last transfer node, which is the sorting pipe. And the sorting pipe is crafted like this. Basically what this does is it will only transfer items to this inventory if the items being transferred match the items in the inventory, or if the inventory is empty. So I've got an octuple cobblestone block here. Let's get another one and let's see if this gets transferred to that inventory. It sure does, but how about if I get a septuple compressed cobblestone? Will that get transferred? No, it doesn't, because there are no septuple cobblestone blocks in here. However, as soon as I put one, all of the others are gonna be transferred. And if the inventory is empty, it will also transfer items. So that's how that works. In addition to transfer nodes, you've also got liquid transfer nodes and energy transfer nodes. Let's take a look at liquid transfer nodes, which are crafted like this. Liquid transfer nodes can be used in mods such as Buildcraft or Thermal Expansion to transfer liquids around, and they use exactly the same pipes as the item transfer nodes. So let's see it in action. Now this should be getting an internal buffer of lava and then looking for a valid tank and putting the lava into it. Now this liquid transfer node is also upgradable, and now all the liquid will get transferred much faster. There you go. And slowly but surely we'll transfer all the liquid from the inventory or tank is attached to the other one. Now let's take a look at the energy transfer nodes. Alright, so let's take a look at transfer nodes of the energy variety, and they're crafted like this. A little bit more expensive than the other ones. So you can place it next to an energy source like a redstone energy cell from Thermal Expansion, and then you can use normal transfer pipes in order to transfer energy. There you have it. And that's how it works. Alright, why don't we take a look at items? First of all, we've got the golden bag of holding, crafted like this. It can hold up to 2 single vanilla chests, and you can carry it around. So very handy. Next up, we've got golden lasso, crafted like this, and you can use it to move animals around. So if I were to use it on a chicken, it will store the chicken in the lasso, will give it its enchanting animation, tell you what kind of animal that it's inside, and you can actually go ahead and put it in an anvil, and you could rename your chickens Mr. Fluffy chicken, Mr. Fluffy, and when you release it, the chicken will have that name when you hover over it. Now if you don't want to waste levels on an anvil, you can also craft the golden lasso that has an animal inside in a crafting table, and the animal will choose its own name. In this case, Thundi. So that's another way of naming your animals. Alright, next item I want to show you is the Division Sigil, a very cool item that you can only find in dungeons. Now if you read the tooltip, it says you need to sneak right click on an enchanting table for more details, and that's what you want to do to activate the sigil. And once the sigil is activated, that's when you're gonna be able to use it. And I'm gonna let you find that out, how to do that by yourself. Now once you got the activated sigil, the main function of it is to disenchant items. Let's say I've got a diamond sword of sharpness 4, you put it on the top of a crafting table, then you can put the division sigil in the middle, and then it will remove enchantments from the item on the top according to what book you put down here. Now if you put a normal book, it will remove 1 level of enchantment from any enchantment that you got in the item. For example, here it's taking 1 level of sharpness, and I get a diamond sword of sharpness 3, and it will also take a quarter of durability of the item. Now if I had put a sharpness 2 book on a sharpness 4 sword, then it would try to remove 2 enchantments, 2 sharpness levels. And that's one of the functions of the activated sigil. Another use of the sigil is to make this new item called unstable ingots. Unstable ingots can be used to make a variety of tools. Now as you can see, it's changing color in my inventory because if I don't use it in 10 seconds, it's actually gonna explode. So why do you want to make these ingots? Well, you can make a variety of tools that are actually really cool. So let me show you what kind of things you can make with it. Now first of all, you've got the etheric sword, a sword that has the same damage as a diamond sword but also can bypass armor, and you craft it like that. Next up, we've got the erosion shovel, crafted like that. It can eat through gravel and sand easily. However, it will not drop any blocks. Next up is the Distraction Pickaxe. The Distraction Pickaxe mines 5 times as fast as a diamond pickaxe, but only on stone. And again, it will not drop any blocks. Next up, we've got the Healing Axe, which when equipped will slowly fill up your hunger bar. In addition, when you hit a living creature, it will take life off you and use it to heal that creature. Of course, this is not useful except if you're fighting undead who take damage from healing. So if I were to hit a zombie, it's gonna take damage from me, but it also will damage the zombie, and the damage is actually 4 times as much as you get. Finally, you've got the Reversing Hoe, crafted like that, which cannot be used to tilt dirt, but has some interesting uses. You can use it to turn cobble into stone, dirt into grass, and you can also use it to reverse the growth state of wheat, which, as the author says himself, is not useful in any way, but it definitely is an interesting mechanic. For the next item, I've had to go into my survival world, and it's these sonar goggles, crafted like this. The sonar goggles can be equipped in the helmet slot, and it will give you, when there is no light, a layout of the blocks close to it. Now the blocks that are the same type are gonna look kind of the same, but if you find a block that is of a different type, then there's gonna be you know, something looking like that. So let's check out, for example, what that is right there. Oops, just broke one of them, whatever. And it's iron. So this could be a useful block, a useful item to wear if you don't want to miss any ores. It's a good way to see what's in the area, in the close area, that's not stone. And that's how the sonar goggles work. Another item you can craft with unstable ingots is the Builder's Wand. And this is an immensely useful item that you can use to build structures faster. Now let's say I wanted to build a 2x2 tower, and I don't really wanna keep putting 4 cobblestone blocks until, you know, the top of the map or whatever. So I can just use the Builder's Wand, which will detect items that I just put, and it will try to stack them. And if I have the items required in my inventory, it's gonna place them. And it can also detect more, you know, patterns if I right click, if I kind of hover over other surfaces. Like here, I can just, you know, build items the way I like, and when I don't have items in my inventory, then it will stop detecting. So you actually need the items. For server admins though, or creative mode people, you've got the Creative Builder's Wand, which doesn't require items. So if I were to build a you know, some cobble here, I can use the Creative Builder's Wand to you know, keep building on it. And that's how the wand works. The last thing you can use unstable ingots to craft is ethereal glass, which was introduced in the latest update. Now ethereal glass will only let players in, so you can actually pass through it, but if you try to throw items into it, they will get stuck. Additionally, if you try to mobs won't be able to come in as well. As you can see, they have to turn around. They just can't get through. And same with NPCs and animals and all sorts of entities. So that's how that crystal works. Another item I want to show you is the watering can, which is empty by default when you craft it, and that you can refill by right clicking on a water source. Then you can use it on crops in order to make them grow faster. So it's a good alternative to bone meal. Finally, we've got a couple alternative recipes for vanilla items. For example, you can now craft a nether star by providing all of these materials, and it will only work on a player that has peaceful mode on, not on any other difficulties. Additionally, you can also craft obsidian by mixing a water bucket, a lava bucket, and a diamond pickaxe in your own inventory's crafting table, and the diamond pickaxe will actually take 5 points of damage. So that was the entire mod of extra utilities. You can get it in the link on the description. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.